Peter Obi has made a dramatic political move on this final day of 2025, defecting from the Labour Party to join the African Democratic Congress, and he is not holding back in his assessment of the Tinubu administration. Speaking at Nike Lake Resort in Enugu, the former presidential candidate delivered one of his most scathing criticisms yet, declaring that Nigeria has been looted into poverty and that the current government represents a betrayal of the Nigerian people's trust. The timing of this announcement carries significant weight because Obi is not just switching parties. He is positioning himself and rallying opposition forces for what promises to be a fierce battle in the 2027 elections. His words today paint a picture of a nation in crisis, with over 130 million Nigerians living in multidimensional poverty and more than 80 million young people without jobs. According to Obi, this is not the destiny that was meant for Nigeria's 220 million citizens, and the responsibility for this crisis lies squarely at the feet of failed leadership. What makes Obi's statement particularly powerful is his insistence that Nigeria is not inherently poor. He argues that the nation has been looted into poverty, that Nigeria is not broken but has been severely betrayed, and that the average Nigerian is not lazy or incompetent but is trapped in a system rigged to reward mediocrity and recycle failure. These are fighting words that speak directly to the frustrations millions of Nigerians feel as they struggle with rising costs of food, transportation, and basic necessities while watching their quality of life deteriorate. Obi pointed to specific policy failures under the Tinubu administration, including what he describes as fiscal recklessness and the ongoing controversy surrounding tax reform legislation. He revealed that the National Assembly has admitted that the gazetted version of a tax reform law was forged, which Obi calls unprecedented in Nigerian history. His criticism cuts deep when he says that it is bad fiscal policy for government to make people poorer and then tax them more, arguing that taxing poverty will only create more poverty rather than wealth. This message resonates with ordinary Nigerians who are watching their purchasing power evaporate while facing increased tax burdens. The former governor of Anambra State did not limit his criticism to economic policy alone. He accused the Tinubu administration of presiding over worsening insecurity, rising unemployment, and a collapse of public trust in governance. According to Obi, Nigeria's democratic institutions have been weakened to the point where governance is now characterized by impunity, manipulation, and disregard for the rule of law. He suggests that the government rewards illegality and corrupt practices while punishing merit and competence, a claim that speaks to widespread concerns about how opportunities and resources are distributed in the country. Obi's defection to the African Democratic Congress, led by former Senate President David Mark, represents a strategic consolidation of opposition forces. He made it clear that this move is about building a broad national coalition that can effectively challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress in the next election cycle. The event in Enugu was attended by prominent political leaders from the southeast and other parts of the country, signaling that Obi is serious about creating a unified platform that can present a credible alternative to the current administration. The opposition leader also addressed the fundamental issue of electoral integrity, demanding urgent reforms of the entire electoral process. He warned that attempts to rig or manipulate the 2027 elections would be resisted, declaring that the will of the Nigerian people is sacrosanct and non-negotiable. This stance is important because it shows that Obi and his supporters are not just focused on criticizing the government, but are also preparing to ensure that the next election reflects the genuine choices of voters rather than manipulation by those in power. Drawing from examples of other nations, Obi cited countries like Rwanda and Indonesia as proof that unity and competent leadership can transform a nation. He argued that Nigeria's problem is not ignorance because the country knows what needs to be done to prosper but refuses to do it. According to him, the real problem is leadership failure and lack of unity, with political elites deliberately exploiting ethnic and religious divisions to remain in power. If you are following Nigerian politics and want to stay updated on this major development and what it means for the country's future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. The 2027 election campaign has essentially begun today with Obi's defection, and things are about to get very interesting in the political landscape. Obi ended his address on a hopeful note despite the harsh criticisms, urging Nigerians to not succumb to despair. He called for unity to dismantle what he describes as the criminal enterprise destroying Nigeria, insisting that a new, united, productive and inclusive Nigeria is possible if citizens come together with courage and resolve. Whether his message will translate to electoral success in 2027 remains to be seen, but what is certain is that Obi has positioned himself as the leading voice of opposition and discontent with the current direction of the country. This defection and the strong language Obi used today will dominate political discussions as Nigeria enters 2026. The Tinubu administration will likely respond to these accusations, and we can expect heated debates about who is truly responsible for the economic hardship Nigerians are experiencing. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what you think about Obi's move to ADC and his accusations against the government. Remember to like this video if you found it informative and share it with others who need to know what is happening in Nigerian politics right now.